This week's episode of the Deckchair and Yumz podcast is brought to you by a fart in a bottle. Now, Conor, you know one of the biggest problems we're facing in the world right now, it's no longer the coronavirus pandemic, it's not the famine in Yemen, it's not disability, not disability, what do you call it?
Destabilization.
Instability.
Instability.
It's not instability in the Middle East.
And
it's
that's not the ability to deal with Instagram.
That's a completely different thing. Yeah. I've nearly fucked this out. It's energy prices are rising.
We got there.
So people are thinking to themselves, well, how am I going to heat the house this winter? Answer's easy. A fart in a bottle. If you go to www.afartinabottle with that accent .com/yum. We'll teach you how to fart in a bottle and keep your house nice and warm. We'll also show you how to siphon petrol out of a radiator.
That's an introductory offer for anybody that goes in the first 48 hours. You'll get a free chance to siphon out from a Skoda.
Exactly, because methane, euthane, everybody thane. Apart from the criminally inthane.
In the membrane.
Fuck me, just play the intro quick. Yeah, what's up, motherfucker? Yeah, what's up, motherfuckers? You're very welcome back to another episode of the Deckchair and Yumz podcast.
It wasn't a very well thought through advertisement.
It wasn't at all. No. Nah, sure. I tell you what the problem was, Conor.
Sure,
I was at the Gilgorm there on the weekend, and I've never been more relaxed in my life.
You look absolutely just horizontal almost.
Tell you what happened. What I didn't realise was you're not supposed to spend 6 hours drinking in a hot tub.
Yes.
If you have chronic psoriasis.
Well, I didn't want to bring that up, but I did look at you over on Instagram at the weekend. I thought
he'll pay for that.
That's not going to be good.
I'm drier than Gandhi's fucking morning mouth. Do you ever think Gandhi woke up? Do you ever think Gandhi woke up in the morning with my mouth's like my flip flop? Do you ever think he's wild truth? Wild truth. Like my own flip flop. I went to the Gilgorm with my good lady at the weekend, and here's what happened.
Well, first of all, we have to explain to our listeners because
the Gilgorm is a place famous people go.
A lot of people thought I was doing the video, and we were on a Deckchair and Yumz retreat. So no, it was Mickey and his side bitch.
All right, my side bitch. I basically bought a package. She came from Thailand and I had to send her back. I got a package for the Gilgorm for New Year's Eve. I had a whole plan to go to do that New Year's Eve.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And it was expensive now. It was expensive.
Nah.
And then I couldn't go New Year's Eve. I wasn't well. And then it says, I tell you what I'll do. I'll rejig it and I'll make it my birthday present to myself, right? And then I went to the Gilgorm, and then I started thinking, fuck, if I make a funny Instagram video, this is tax deductible. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're wrong.
You were working, I suppose.
I was working now. There was a point where, so if anybody didn't see my Instagram, I was taking very lovely scenic pictures of the Gilgorm Estate Hotel and Spa, and then it would cut to me looking like I was masturbating, but in actual fact I was just shaking up a tin deodorant at the end of it, right? It's all about the conceal and reveal. What I didn't realise was, so at one point, basically we were walking around the Gilgorm, I say walking, hobbling a pair of flip-flops, because they gave me them flip-flops with the toe thing.
The tongs.
They get me proper.
Oh, do they?
I fucking hate them. Right? It's like your foot has a wedgie.
What?
It felt like my toe was going, my knickers were stuck up my ass. If I was to personify my toe.
Right, okay.
So I can't really walk on those things.
All right, okay.
I've also got dropped arches. Among my many list of ailments, flat feet is also another reason why I'll never be at the war. So we're like hobbling about the Gilgorm, and I was like, let's go into a wee spa room here. Let's go into like a wee salt lamp thing. Let's go into at one point I jumped into like a plunge pool of just fucking 0 degree water to see if I could take it. I can't.
How quick were you out of that?
Quicker than
you went in?
Yeah. Like I did, at one point I went in.
That would give me an instant heart attack.
I went in for the crack, right? So my missus was videoing it, and I got in, and I was like, that's fucking freezing. And then I thought, no, I can do that for longer. And I went in all Joe Rogan and tried to like oots it. Just like oots. And it's shite.
No.
I will say, I've never been more like, fuck, I'm wide awake.
I would imagine.
Like a genuine,
like every
whoa.
fucking nerve end.
For all
would
the
be
people
just-
who were out sea swimming during the pandemic, they were getting a lot of shit. I understand why you do it now because it fills you full of energy.
It's a buzz, is it?
It's a bit of a buzz now. It's a bit of a buzz. I went in. There's a wee sauna I went into straight after that, and there was just a girl sitting by herself, all shell shocked, and she was like, "Did you go in as well?" I was like, "Ah." At one point, I turned to my girlfriend and went, "Look at the size of my willy," and pulled my thing. There was no. It was just skin. It was like a baby's finger with a hole in it, and. So then we're walking about doing all these various things. I thought a multitude of things was at the Galgorm, Connor, right? One thing I thought was, for everything that's going on in the world right now, we really are in a decadent society, right? And I realised that I felt like Jack in Titanic going, what knife? I'm definitely not first class people.
There, yes.
Yeah, I am 100%. When a man said to me, "Good morning, sir," and I was like, "I'm not a good morning, sir. I'm well, lad." Do you know what I mean? I'm Sapnin Squire. Sup,
Although
chief.
I am a morning, sir. Because I'm Tyrone, or else, sir.
I know, but it wasn't like sir. It was very much good morning, sir.
Morning.
Like if we had both been there, they would have said sirs.
Oh,
do you know what I mean? Good morning, sirs. Can I fluff your cock for you again, sir? So it was very strange to see the people who go to the Galgorm, and I'm very conscious of generalising this week, but we'll talk about that later. To see the many different groups of people who can be assembled in a public area,
Yes.
who should definitely never take anything to heart,
Yeah.
especially when a comedian's talking shit in a podcast. But you see a lot of people around there. You see, it was
Some people.
So you see some people. You see a very.
I seen one guy.
I saw some Instagrammers, and I tell you what, I've never been fucking angry. I saw people that were just like in a hot tub with their legs. And I
No,
can't.
what do you mean with their legs?
So they had their feet in the hot tub and then just the
they're
sexy
lying back.
bodies
Right.
out of the hot tub. And I cannot, and I will not apologise for this, I cannot stop myself from being angry when I see somebody get about 15 photos taken, look through them all, and then go, no, do it again. Because I'm there trying to relax. And you're making me antsy.
And what was he good looking?
No, it was a woman.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
15 photographs? Couldn't have been.
I know that's another thing as well. Oh man, is there ever anything? So here's what happened, and this is interesting, right? So my girlfriend and I walked about, did a couple of the wee different rooms, whatever. My girlfriend goes, "Do you want to get a wee drink?" And I was like, "I absolutely do want to get a wee drink." And we're looking through the menu of stuff, and I went, "Here, come on, we'll go bougie. It's 1 in the afternoon. Come on, me and you get a wee bottle of prosecco for the crack, right? Because everybody knows me love a little bit of bubbly, right?" So
And you're a baller.
I'm a baller. So this is where I realise I'm not a first class person. So we're in this wee lovely bit. Sun was shining, felt like summertime. We're in like a wee greenhouse thing, right? Sitting there in a wee dressing gowns. I've got a towel on my feet so nobody can see my scaby feet. And ordered a bottle of prosecco, and then a guy came over and he was like, "Listen, we don't actually have any ice buckets or anything left. What I'll do is I'll keep this in the fridge and sure you can wave at me.
Yes.
And I'll bring it over and fill your glasses for you." And me and my missus were like, "Fuck, I'll not be there long enough to get Kyle anyway. Jesus Christ, leave it sitting, sir. Relax yourself. Fuck me, you don't give a fuck about warm prosecco. I've like piss out of a slipper before. Fucking chill." So then we got in the
He
hot.
went back to reception and went, "We have 2 more.
Aye, but it was the thing where I was very like, I don't want to. I felt very, very uncomfortable.
We have 2 booking.com guests."
Yes. Well, no, that's the thing, because it would cost a
Instead of
fucking-
those who have their
So the
season
thing about
pass.
it was, it cost that much money, right? When I saw there was other people in the biggest hotel in Northern Ireland, I was like, how dare they be here? I thought I'd bought this place out for the weekend for £500. Like it cost as much as a weekend Santa Ponza.
That's
and
fucking unbelievable.
Fucking so and you,
Like my wife's always, because she's been there and she wants me to go, but I love hotels and love going away, but I love city breaks.
aye.
And I like walking around the city, man, even if it's just Belfast or Dublin, whatever. But I'm like, I am not wandering around Ballymena. I don't have
That's the
anything
thing.
to fucking do.
And
Not a
we
chance.
did make several jokes. It was like you would forget you're in fucking Ballymena, like where you in the Galgorm.
But you would take advantage
You can
of
walk about in the Galgorm all you want, but you can't be gay next door. Like
You would take advantage. I see. That's why I don't go and I won't go. I wouldn't get the full value out of it. I wouldn't use a hot tub or I wouldn't do spas or anything.
Well, I see that was.
Did you do the whole works?
So this we didn't really. So we did like a brief tour of the sort of right, here's a salt room, here's a fucking
Right, okay.
different type of sauna, here's another type of sauna, and then when I didn't want to do anything because there was people in the hot tubs.
Right,
so at one
yeah.
point my girlfriend was cracking up. I was like, you have to get in with people. I was going, but there's fucking loads of them. Like there was a couple full blown going with each other, and I'm like, I'm not getting into a bath with a man with a hard on. I'm fucking not doing it. But half a bottle of Prosecco.
Don't knock it
Think
till you
about
try
this.
it, hey,
No, but
yeah.
half a bottle of Prosecco. I was like, cannonball! Like,
full bottle.
Aye.
You're like,
so it had a point where like we were in a hot tub with a guy who was definitely in the UDA. A couple of old people who were like, no, we're not drinking, we're just here to relax. A bunch of Instagrammers, and I'm going, hit them fucking bubbles again. Do you want a raspberry?
oh, I could just see you two.
And it was no, see the room in the hotel. It was that nice. I was like, why would you have anything else here? Because I could spend all day walking in and out of this shower.
Oh, just the room, yeah.
Just the room
I've heard
itself.
that, and I've heard it is lovely, like in that sense. But
And I've that thing as well, just from doing stand-up for so many years and being like, anytime I'm traveling, when I get into a hotel room or go into any city, I'm kind of like you go, I want to pretend I live here.
yeah.
And the hotel room was that nice. I was like, this is the kind of room. If
If you had your own mansion,
I had a mansion, my bedroom would look like this.
right? Okay, that's.
Do you know what I mean?
that's
If I was full balling it, this would be there'd be a slightly uncomfortable sofa in the corner for absolutely no reason. Do you know what I mean? There's an area to entertain guests in the bedroom,
So
as if you
you-
want to be like, come on in here, we'll have a cup of tea.
So so with the sofa and all, I assume it was a suite.
Oh, it was pretty sweet. No, I don't think it wasn't even a suite. It was a deluxe room because the
Okay.
suite was one up.
Right, I was gonna
Because
say,
when we were
suites normally is when you get
when we were
sofas and all
checking
that crack in the living area.
we were both like I was just wearing like a fucking sweat top and a gilet, and I was like, do you think the gilet is making me look a wee bit upper class? Like, does it look like I've just come from the stables?
You just parked up your land.
But I
over
was
there.
only in the stables telling people what to do. I wasn't. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't cloud and shite. And there was a couple.
But it is a good thing about the modern world is that a billionaire doesn't dress like a billionaire. You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know
yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
Like within things, you could have been.
Yeah,
the
like
richest
anybody
tech
who
guy
buys
or-
New Balance shoes, you're like, well, obviously now you look like a billionaire because Bill Gates, God rest him. Not Bill Gates, what do you call him? Steve Jobs.
God rest him. It's good.
Bill Gates is grand.
Well, no.
It depends who you talk to. But Steve Jobs is the one who passed away. Steve Jobs is the one that wore the New Balance, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there were some. I got very drunk.
What about food?
Well, I haven't even finished yet.
Oh, you haven't even finished the deluxe fucking
I'm
spa?
in the salt room letting on the wank. Then I was in the wee conservatory letting on the wank. Then I get into the hot tub. Somebody hit the bubbles. I goes quick, get the phone out. I let on the wank, right? And then as we were walking, so we had to go and check in to get into a private hot tub.
Right.
Right. So we booked in like a private hot tub experience. And in my head, I'm going, now, neither one of us is the type of person that'll try and book in a private hot tub. But if the idea is brought up, what's going to happen here? And my girlfriend was like, if you even fucking think I'm taking my knickers off in a private hot tub. And I was like, good, because I wouldn't book me with these feet.
Oh, I was going to say, well, you wouldn't. Not in a hot tub?
Not at all. If it was my hot tub.
Nobody would see it.
No, but if it was my hot tub in my house, maybe. But I'm
Like,
not going
there's
to.
no way you wouldn't have known that couple in the other hot tub, he didn't have his wang inside her.
You don't fill it with cider, you fill it with water.
Oh, fuck, I don't understand. I thought it was cider.
You're wanging a daiquiri, maybe. But on the way down to check in, one of the guys from the Galgorm,
Penis colada?
that's not bad, dancing in the vein. Do you like penis coladas? And having dancing in my veins. Nothing.
No,
I can't remember the
there
rest of
we
the words. But I did hit a point where, yeah, one of the staff was like, I was watching your Instagram today, sir. And I was like, we're getting fucking through out of here. Because I originally didn't have a plan for what could be under my dressing gown. I was just trying to take the look off the place.
Aye.
That's why I said to my girlfriend, I have a ton of deodorant in the room. We need to get up there and film this real quick so nobody can be like, you were pretending to wank at the Galgorm.
Yeah. No, Mick, I don't think the deodorant did the job.
At
no.
one point, my missus was like, take the Galgorm, you might get some free stuff. And I was like, well, do you genuinely think the fucking Galgorm is going to be like, see that fella who walked about with fucking his toenails falling off, pretending to wank? He's the poster boy we want for this place.
The tourism board's on the phone right away going, can we get Mr.
Discover
Barnes?"
Northern Ireland. Tito Crisps. Or is it Mickey? Discover Northern Ireland. The people, the crack, usually around his heels and palms whenever the dry out.
Speaking of fucking Tato and Discover
Jamie
Northern
Dornan.
Ireland,
You gonna have a Jamie Dornan?
What did Jamie do?
Jamie Dornan.
Jamie. Explain what happened. No, was it,
So he was on
Fallon or- no,
Jimmy Kimmel?
Jimmy Kimmel, yeah.
So for only now, I didn't see the entire clip because I got to a certain point and I went, fuck it.
So did I.
And I
I didn't see the end of it either. I was like, get that.
yeah,
fucking-
I was one of them moments where, like, even though I haven't been a Catholic for many a year and I'm not a nationalist, but as soon as that happened, I started going, I'm joining the Rano. I said, I'm going to go back down to the south. I'm going to say, Varadgar, you're out. I'm taking over.
Oh, hold on.
We need to-
Did I miss something? What happened?
it made me so ashamed to be from Northern Ireland that I
right,
just
yeah.
decided I'm not from the planet anymore.
Oh, it was terrible.
So Jamie Dornan was on Jimmy Kimmel. The subject came up about crisp sandwiches,
Crisp sandwiches, I think.
and then Jamie
it must
Dornan
have
goes
been
on to say this is what we call in Belfast a crisp smashy.
a smashy. I've never heard of it now. Maybe
Never heard of it in
Belfast
my life.
ones do call it a smashy. I don't know.
And
but-
he started to make a crisp sandwich. I turned off when he put mayonnaise in the
That's
bread.
what I did. If there was ever proof that cunt's not actually
know.
from here, I think he's from London. The bastard put mayonnaise in a crisp sandwich. Get out
And there
the
was
fuck,
ham
Jimmy.
sitting beside it. I've never ham. No, I've heard people do that before.
Oh, I've done that before now. I put a lock of crisp in my ham, like, but
I definitely think
mayonnaise.
you can tell our level of fitness when we look at crisp sandwiches like a culinary fucking.
Oh, absolutely,
And as soon
yeah.
as mayonnaise hit the bread, nah, incorrect, sir.
Out.
How dare you?
I just thought you don't know. And the worst thing is, it would be American bread they were eating it on, so
Yeah.
it's like sweet bread.
The thing was when he started putting the mayonnaise on, I thought, oh, they've got that weird American butter, like
That's what I
Lurapack
thought,
or
the white
something.
butter.
Yeah.
Most American butter is white, yeah. No, it was man. I was like, Jimmy, you traitorous cunt.
Treacherous piece of shit.
I don't care if you can't act. It didn't bother me. But that's what comedy is.
Shit.
Just remember. Butter!
Fuck, it's just butter and crisps, and then give it a wee.
Don't call it
Do
smashy.
you flatten it down?
I'll always
Or
flatten
do you,
it, aye.
Do you flatten it to the point where it's like there's still handprints in the bread?
Yeah,
Because you need the type of bread that leaves hand. I
You
only
need handprints, yeah.
see. I only give it a wee gentle.
No, I give it a crush where you nearly look like a rolling pin went over it.
Mm-hmm.
No, I smash.
Do you cut it down the middle, or do you just take the full fucking?
I'll cut it in the middle.
Aye.
Aye.
I have on
You get more crisps
occasion
that way.
because they fall out again.
Aye.
That's
Feels like you're eating a separate, a side dish.
yeah. No, I'm with you on that. I have on occasion not cut the bread. Do you cut now? Chris sandwich, I don't think you can cut diagonally. It has to be across the middle.
Has to be across the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, diagonal's too much. It's too hard to.
Have you ever had a crisp sandwich with something that wasn't potato, cheese, and onion?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
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 McCoy's very good.
Golden Wonder used to do a fantastic sausage and tomato crisp. That worked. Do you remember them?
yeah.
It worked really well with a lot of
Do you know what, Chris? Do you remember gammon and pineapple? All those weird. What was that? What was that brand of crisp?
Brannigan's.
Brannigan. There was one before Brannigan's
They
though.
had a mustard thing.
There was one before Brannigan's. Maybe something like
They're
that.
new. They're new boys. They're new boys. No,
There
these
was
are
like-
old ones.
There was roast beef and there wasn't roast beef and pickle or something. There was like ham and pineapple, or gammon and pineapple. There was roast beef and mustard.
That's
my
the Brannigan's one. Roast beef
Aye,
mustard.
But there was one.
I could
but
only
there
eat
was a
them when I
different
had
brand.
as long as I had a tin of Diet Coke with me.
They do mix.
They were
They were spicy.
so
So I used to love them.
fucking mustardy. I was like,
Do you remember whenever they came out with what? Where were you? Just show us again what you were doing. There you go. Boys, you just need, if you're ever stuck, just give Connor a wee bit of mustard and
And a tin of Diet Coke, boy, and I will finish you off, sir. I'll add the roast
like a
beef.
Sunday carver. No end in sight.
What? Stick it in my Yorkshire pudding, and then we'll just be. We'll move on to the
Just cut-
horseradish.
cut. Do you know, I have a thing. I like the taste of horseradish, right? But I really wish they'd fucking changed the name of it.
Ah.
I wish they'd call it something else, and then I'd be able to eat it.
I love it.
I know, but it's the fact that it's called horseradish.
Tasty.
I fucking know. It just makes me think of a horse's radish. And in fact, it makes me think of a horse's relish. And I just can't eat it. It's the same with like pickled onions. If they change the name of pickled, I reckon I could probably eat onions if they weren't called onions. It's because it rhymes with bunions. I know that's weird.
It is very
I know it's very, very strange to
Yeah.
be triggered by something like that, but it's.
Pickled onions. I do like pickled onions. Oh, no, I like me.
Oh my god, I fucking hate them.
What about beetroot and stuff like that?
Nah, I hate it. It's the word pickled. And I've had pickled beetroot. It tastes alright, but it's the pickled. Pickled reminds me of an alcoholic maths teacher. Do you know what I mean? Pickled is something that happens after an autopsy. And I don't want that in my belly.
You haven't lived.
Do you remember, I eat a cheeseburger off the floor. I'm not a prude, but the idea.
It's only fucking vinegar.
I know, but it fucking weirds me out. And I love jalapenos, right? Mm-hmm. But see a jar of jalapenos, see halfway down it when it's mostly that brine and stuff, I have to throw it out.
Why?
It just creeps me out. For some reason, jars of like salty water make me just go.
Would you not drain out the water?
You could, that would make sense, but the water freaks me out. I'm weird. I know I'm weird. Coleslaw in a fridge. Throw the fridge out.
What?
I can't have it anywhere near me. Fucking cannot have it anywhere near me.
Coleslaw?
I swear to fuck.
Why?
My granny's fridge one time stank because of fucking coleslaw.
Right.
And now I can't go near it.
Our fridge stank one time because there was a bulb of garlic that had grown fucking 2 babies, but that's not
I know, but
garlic.
it's because at whatever age I was, whenever this triggered whatever the fuck is in me, I saw really fucking stinking coleslaw in a plastic bag from Dunn's. I think sometimes it's ironic that I'm weird about stuff getting on my hands. If I get something on my hand as a kid, I hate it forever. So if I accidentally got coleslaw on my pinky one time, and I'm like, bleh. I one time got tomato seeds on my hand because somebody was eating a tomato in a tent. And it like all squirted out, and I'm like, bleh. Is that strange? That is strange, isn't it? It's very weird. And now my hands look like tomato seeds.
It is. I'm genuinely shocked. Going, I don't know where you.
There's certain things. I remember my granny's house used to have there was something on the stoop. What do you call it, the stoop? What do you call the doorway bit? You know, the wee bit in the. Is the stoop? No, like the doorway, right? No, there's that wee bit of wood on the bottom of the doorway. That is the stoop, isn't it?
No. Is it the threshold thing?
The threshold. There we are.
Right.
I call it a stoop because I'm working class. But there was something in that looked like a really old chunky onion. And when I was a kid, I used to like proper bulk walking into our kitchen. And I remember not telling anybody back then because I thought they were going to laugh at me. But I had to go like, like prepare myself and jump over it when I was about 4. It's one of my first memories.
Like an onion, we're getting through the layers here, aren't we? I mean, there's layers.
Oh
to
yeah,
it, like.
there's certain
Oh yeah.
yeah. I'm a weird guy, like.
Yeah.
A lot going on. A lot going on.
A lot of things happening there.
Yeah. I could put my elbow in shite, wouldn't give a fuck. Put me up to my neck in fecal matter, and I'd go, a bit smelly. But if you chase me around with a bit of coleslaw, I'll fight you. I know.
That's what. Right. Okay. No.
The things that I will stand for versus the things I will not.
What?
If you bit a tomato in front of me, I'd kick in the chin. But if you shat at me, doink.
No, I'm right. Let's stick with the coleslaw. So I'm trying to
It's
find.
because it sounds like cold sore.
Okay, let's move on from that. Because you're not in primary school. And
I know, but it's still why.
That is the reason.
Yeah.
What?
I know, it's in me there.
I was trying to get to the psychology of what it felt like or what the feeling. So it's about because
somebody said to me one time, "Oh, fucking, do you want a wee bit of cold sores?" Ha ha ha! And then started crunching on coleslaw, and all I could think was somebody eating cold sores. And now,
yes, but you were a child.
it doesn't matter; it's still in there.
But now that you're an adult,
here, there's children that have been fucking.
But you know what's in coleslaw, and you know it's not coleslaw.
I don't actually know what's in coleslaw. I haven't even investigated that.
What?
I have no idea. I think it's mayonnaise and cabbage, but I don't. Sometimes there's onions in it. I hate onions.
That's a problem.
A hidden onion is offensive to me. I remember one time buying a taco chicken sandwich out of a garage, and they had onions in it, and I was like, "Why? At least say onions here."
Yeah,
because I bit into it.
I have to say, I'm with you on the onion because I don't like raw onions.
Fucking stinking.
But. So then what I do is I look for coleslaw that doesn't have onion in it, and so you will find me at the fridge in the spar shop reading every label to find the one that doesn't have onion in it. But that's because I don't like the taste of onions. But yours is because of a name of something.
Mm-hmm. I remember one time when I was in Latvia, we got these burgers out of a Circle K. It was the nicest burger I've ever had, and they had like taco sauce and lettuce mixed up, right, which is essentially coleslaw. I was like, this is fucking delicious, but nobody called it coleslaw, so I was fine with that. And when I got home, I was like, you should taste this stuff. And I made it for the girl I was going out at the time. And she went, I thought you didn't like coleslaw. And I was like, I don't. She went, that's coleslaw. And I was like, ugh.
Right, well, here's the ultimate question. And this is a wee bit of advertising.
Am I mental? Yes.
A wee bit of advertising for local business. So locally, we have a food truck called Backstreet Eats. Are
you sponsored by these cunts on the slide? Not tell me, because this is about the 3rd week in a row you brought that up.
Anyway, they have a thing called Asian Slaw. Can you have that?
What's Asian Slaw?
I don't want to tell you what the full name, but can you have it because it just says
coleslaw?
No, it's Asian Slaw.
That's different. Yeah, slaw isn't the bit that I'm annoyed about. It's the coal bit.
So well, we're getting it now. So
I think it's because I thought for years it was called cold slaw as opposed to cold slaw.
Right. So we've dealt with that because again you're in a primary school. So
why isn't it called like Murphy slaw? Do you know what I mean? It's just every time you open it, there's on there.
So if you went into a deli shop and they had slaw.
Don't even talk to me about deli stuff. Sure, can't eat Indian food now. Thank you.
So if it was called slaw, you would eat it?
It depends, right? Sometimes, no, to me, slaw, right, is something you get in a wee silver circly thing at a trendy burger place, and it's red cabbage and like sweet chili sauce or something. And I go, that's grand. But if you come up with that out of white, creamy, cold slaw, I get like,
Oh my God.
And when
I can understand tastes, I can understand textures, but not the fucking name of
No,
it.
it's the whole thing. It's the whole package. I think it's the taste and the texture is the thing that makes me feel sick, but the name triggers me. Do you know what I mean?
But if you had slaw, so the Asian
But slaw,
the reason why it's
the
called
slaw
Asian
bit isn't
slaw
the problem. It's the cold
because
slaw.
it's like bean sprout. It's not the normal ingredients of coleslaw. So it's got Asian things, but it's still got like a mayonnaise mix sort of thing. So that will be okay.
Yeah.
What about the pickled gingers?
I don't know much about modern music. I think I like the first album.
Are you technically a pickled ginger?
I think I am pickled ginger. Yeah. Certainly was after Gal Gorm.
Now, here's the thing. So you wouldn't eat the pickled ginger, right?
Right.
Right. Would you eat kimchi?
Who's she?
Would you eat kimchi?
I've had kimchi before.
Right. Pickled cabbage. But it's just not
Pickled
called
cabbage.
So it's not called
yeah, but
so
again, I would eat kimchi, but I wouldn't go near sauerkraut. It's the same thing. It's because I've never seen kimchi in a jar with a shite label before, but I have seen sauerkraut in a jar.
Jesus Christ.
So, things that I've seen in jars I wouldn't eat. Abortions. Do you know what I mean?
Fuck. Oh, I don't know.
Just said I wouldn't.
That is fascinating. I have to say,
It's not fascinating. It's fucking weird. Like
It's
I understand
weird,
it's weird.
but it's because I have children and I have
Muller rice. Can't even look at it.
Does it remind you of your ma?
It reminds me of coleslaw. It was beside the coleslaw in the fridge that time.
Having children, I will know of fussy eating, and I've dealt with fussy eating all through my life. But none of it has ever come down to it. That's the name of it.
I used to love ambrosia cream rice until somebody pointed out it was basically semolina, and now I can't eat ambrosia cream rice. Because semolina sounded like salmonella, and I couldn't fucking deal with it. And I think there was a point, do you remember yucky semolina, I feel sick,
Yeah.
right? Was going about the same time as diarrhea. So why would equate semolina with diarrhea? You're not going near it.
You know cola has nothing to do with Ebola, don't you?
Why are you bringing that to my attention now? I never even thought about it. Well, that's fucking cola done. Fuck's sake. Oh, Christ. Now I can't drink Fanta because the TV station's at Fanta.
If I could have a diet based on that method there, I'd be thin as fuck. If you could have a thing where
nothing
you don't,
rhymes with burger, you'd still be...
if you only ate things that, or you couldn't eat things because it annoyed you by the name, that would be a great fucking way of getting out of things. Fucking hell. That is unreal.
I know how weird it is.
That is very
I absolutely
strange.
know how weird it is. Like,
Because I'm sorry to dwell on this, like, but it really is. But because I can get the coleslaw thing on certain elements, like if you didn't like cabbage or you didn't like the carrots or whatever, or you didn't like mayonnaise. But it's the childish. Like, where did you go all the way through like secondary school with that thinking as well?
Yeah.
And nobody ever.
I took packed lunches, like...
But nobody ever pulled you up on it and went like, no.
Nah, the secondary school I went to didn't offer an awful lot of condiments. It was like gravy or curry.
Right. Okay.
Two things I'm fine with. In fact, the more the merrier. I like to mix them together sometimes and call it gravy. But I
don't know. That's a new one to me now. I never.
There's
Cold
just certain
sores.
things. I also feel I get kind of weirded about like tinned meats. Like tuna. I can't
tuna.
can't go near tuna.
Yeah.
Because my dad one time made like a tuna and onion mayonnaise mix thing and left a bowl of it in the fridge because he was having it for his lunch every day. And I was like, and I remember like
the onions did that.
no, but it was the tuna and the onion and the mayonnaise. That's fucking like I just mixed them all together into one big nappy worth of shite. And I would open the fridge and before I opened it, I would go and like breathe in and hold my breath while I was trying to get stuff out of the fridge. And you're fainted one time trying to get a bottle of Robinsons.
Oh my god!
Swear to God.
So smells as well.
Yeah,
Right.
shite doesn't wind me up. Boke, meh.
Maybe you should start eating shite.
I do. Just saying it. Just stay to me. You think I've got a good diet?
Who are you talking to, for fuck's sake? That is a new one to me. I did not know that in all this time. I did not know you had those.
Phobias.
No, they're
They're
not
phobias. They're phobias.
They're not phobias.
They're phobias.
It's
It's like my phobia of the unknown, which is what some people like to go, oh, he's afraid of the dark. Nah, I just don't like to give the opportunity being crept up upon.
childish is what you would describe it as.
I'm not childish you are.
Because most children would move past that. So I don't even know what you call it when
Well,
you're
fair play to them
30
for me able to cope. Maybe I'm just not the kind of person who can cope.
when you're nearly 35 years of age and also
I can't do it. There's just certain things I can't do. I don't know. Like, I nearly went off Easter eggs because that woman on Zoom who was eating an Easter egg with no teeth. Do you remember something about that? I did one of the first Zoom gigs I did at the start of the pandemic.
Right.
There was a big doll eating an Easter egg with no teeth, and she forgot to turn her camera off. And I didn't know how to work Zoom, so I couldn't cycle through to get somebody else's video up. So I was trying to tell jokes, and all I could see was this like chocolate slabbers and the noise. And now I can't fathom the idea of eating an Easter egg.
you need help, hey? You need fucking help.
That just reminds me of stuff. Do you know what? Like you're bound to be sometimes having dinner and you think of something that grosses you out, and then you go, "Oh fuck, no, I'm not hungry now." That just happens to me with coleslaw.
Look at me.
Have you never
anything's ever going to
you
stop
never been
me?
in a situation where, like, have you ever been eating a KFC and you hear one of those myths about KFC and then you go, I don't
No.
really want to eat this.
I remember being at a Morrissey concert and he played a fucking video of the most grotesque fucking chicken farms that you've ever seen in South America. I mean, like there were
All the chickens were on coke.
chickens were grown with no heads and no, like it was fucking rotten. And then it showed you like this was being played during a song in the
How do they
background.
grow a chicken with no head?
And that's the thing. There was like all these genetics that are all deformed and
Aye.
all like fucking. They're just firing them out because there's so many of them.
Were they all confused? They all run about like,
What did I tell you, sir? Hey.
yeah, handless chickens.
All I could think of it was a chicken burger. It doesn't bother me anything at all. It doesn't put me off.
Yeah.
But coleslaw, I don't. Again, I've nothing against it. I know about fussy eating. I get that. I do get it, and I know a lot of people who can't like have mushrooms because they're too slimy or they can't have.
See if I was in a restaurant and a chip touched the coleslaw. Now I can have coleslaw on the plate because I'm also. I don't like causing a fuss, so I'm very much like I can ignore that and it'll be alright. But if one of my chips was in the coleslaw, that chip doesn't get it. I won't even eat the top half that isn't touching the coleslaw.
So you don't like mayonnaise?
I can have mayonnaise in a chicken burger if I don't see it going on. And I can mix mayonnaise into things myself, but I can't.
So if you happen to catch somebody put
Pour
mayonnaise
mayonnaise
on
on
a McChicken sandwich at McDonald's, you're not having it?
I can have it. But I don't mind it.
There's no sense.
It must
in
be
any of
something to do
this.
with. I think there's stuff too, like because I know whenever like I told you this. My mum got braces on when she was like 32, right? And they had to whatever way it worked out. They basically had to essentially break her jaws to get the braces on, right? So my mum was like had no feeling in her chin for quite a number of years. So there's times my mum be eating like a wrap out of a chip or something, big saucy thing, and I'd have no idea there was food all over her chin.
Okay.
So I'd be younger and seeing white stuff dripping down my ma's chin and thinking to myself, come on down, dinner's ready.
Had you Patty seen it many times too, eh?
I already made the joke when which sorry, safe space. We'll talk about it in a second. But I think there's something in that. But I get no.
But it's I know, in all seriousness, it's a psychological thing. Obviously, it's very clearly psychological. So, are there other hidden psychological problems you have that we don't?
Probably not that many hidden ones. To be honest with you. It's what I keep trying to deal with Mr. S. Right? So like, I was talking to a doctor about Mr. S recently. I went, can I be changing something dietary to really try and fix this? And they were like, not at all. And I went, but stress can cause it? She was like, yes. So I'm like, so I can manifest this with sadness, but I can't fix it chemically.
That is brutal.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff that like, what? I'm trying to think of other weird things I think are gross.
Like I can definitely can understand like
I cannot deal with bogies. Like
a trigger and smell. No,
fucking can't deal with
so
them.
you definitely can't eat them.
No, just stop talking about
I
it.
want to mean other people's. I mean your own.
I know, even stop talking about it.
That's
Stop.
your nose.
Fuck. It's my ass. I don't eat the shit comes out of it. I don't eat anything that comes out of my holes. None of it. If food fell out of my mouth, I wouldn't pick it up and eat it again.
Yeah.
Nah. And see that carry on when you feed a baby and you give it that.
Oh, you got to ship it. See a baby's rusk and stuff. Oh, Emery's going, are you eating it as a I was like, I'm shipping it.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't put a child through that.
Child didn't fucking know she can.
Like my nephew will be eating a lollipop and then go, "Want some?" And I'd be like, "No, thank you." And he'd be all, "Bah!" And I'm like,
Fuck away. If you're gonna lick a lollipop and you're weak,
love him to death.
nephew.
And it's not because it's nothing to do with him or it's nothing to do with the way he eats lollipops or anything. I just can't fucking
You just can't what? Go
can't deal with it, man. I'll only swap spit with a sexual partner or a friend. Do you know what I mean? Like
Again, you're not. You're really you're building things up to be more than they are.
I also is another
The
weird
lick of
one.
a
Do you remember
child's
whenever you
fucking
were in
lollipop
school
is
and
not-
somebody who had a bottle of Coke and they'd have a wee bit at the end and then they would call it the slabs?
Aye.
Can't go near. I can't finish a bottle of Coke.
Oh,
If I can finish my own, but if I knew somebody else had been near it, I couldn't fucking. I remember one time one of my mates was drinking a bottle of Coke and he was chewing food as he was like trying to wash it down,
Aye.
and a bit of the food ended up in the bottle, and I noticed it, and I was like, and I didn't have the balls to go, "Here, mate, you've got a half a chip in that fucking bottle of Coke there." I just ignored it and then developed problems in later life.
We called them Mexicans.
Mexicans?
I don't know why, because it looked like wee sombreros floating about on the.
Would I?
So I don't know, especially in our estate when we're all like a gang of us together, and at the end of a bottle, goes, I don't want fucking. I look at the Mexicans and that thing.
So another weird one. I like champ, but I won't eat it because there's scallions in it. But scallions are spring onions, and I hate onions that much. That freaks me out. Onion rhymes with bunion.
Take a few steps back, and so, but you can call it scallion to get rid of that bunion problem you have.
Yeah.
But that doesn't do the
No,
job.
tell a lie. Scallions is the one that freaks me out. Spring onion, am I right? It might just remind me of people in my life that I didn't like or something. I don't know. I've never been to say about it. I don't think it's an issue.
You really fucking should.
I just dodged coleslaw and chat. Just go here. I'll just have spuds instead.
But it's not even.
Or no coleslaw, please. Do you know what I mean?
It's mad, like.
Like there's been nothing.
Like, what about like the likes of them, like pulses and quinoa and all that sort of stuff? Would you eat them salads, like?
I'm not mad into. I'm weird about what do you call that fucking green thing? The guacamole's made out of.
Avocado.
Weird about that.
Right.
Because how can it look that dry? I can't figure it out. I've never even tasted it. Also, kiwi fruit. Get the fuck out of my face. That.
Hey.
Somebody smelly in school was eating it one day.
We need to go back and see what happened to you in fucking primary school, because you've been psychologically scarred for the rest of your life. A fucking kiwi fruit.
Can't eat it. A kiwi fruit looks like a green hairy tomato, and I don't like tomatoes.
I have no problem, again, not that I have a problem with you, but I'm saying is I'm not having an issue with people who don't like something or don't like the taste of something. That's fair enough, everybody has their own taste. But to not like something because somebody younger
I think it's a legit reason.
Because somebody somebody stinking at a kiwi when you were in primary school, so you can't have them now. That's not a legit reason.
Or it is.
No, it's not. It's fucking not.
It is. My ma told me how to wipe my ass when I was 3. It's a legit reason to keep doing it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
No.
do you know what I mean?
No.
There's certain things. I think you've got a certain level of time when you can learn things, and once you've learned them, it's very hard to
You
unlearn
stopped at 18 months, then obviously, but it looks of it.
them. How dare you? Didn't know how to do this at 18 months.
Get over here!
Actually, trying to hit the other one. I meant that one. Nope. Oh no, a bogey. Oh.
Hey, let's go on, I'll give you a $5.
Oh, Connor, fuck off. I didn't take a drink of water even thinking about
I'll give you a $5. Go on.
that.
You give me a $5 if I had it.
Other things that gross me out. Yellow fruit pastels.
What?
Yeah. Now I can get past it. But one time I remember as a kid, and this might sum up the entire thing. One time as a kid, I remember eating my own earwax to see what the crack was there.
Right.
And then I had a yellow fruit pastel, maybe that same day, and went, these are similar. And I've somehow went through a phase where I equated yellow fruit pastels and earwax as the same thing. And I'm pretty sure earwax doesn't taste bitter like lemons, unless I was very diabetic.
I don't know where to go with that.
You don't need to go anywhere with it. It's just a. Yet no, I will pick
there
skin
are-
off my foot and go, don't eat that.
Yeah.
Don't eat that.
But it seems that there are
Do not bite that.
there are triggers. Let's dig deep, Mike. Let's dig deep into the psychology of this, because so something has triggered you when you were younger. 'Cause none of these things have happened when you're older. All of these happened when you were younger.
Yeah.
So, like, none of these, like, have you disliked anything post 18? Like, if anything come into your life and go, oh, fuck, I don't like it, I don't want to touch it?
The
Or was
gays. I don't know if there's been anything post 18.
So you've been drinking at that stage, you've been smoking, you've been doing things, and then you're into then probably going eating out.
Do they have
and
big
proper-
long fingernails? No, that was before I was 18. I know where that came from as well.
What, the world record thing, Jobs?
No, like just girls with long
Girls with long
fingernails.
finger- Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you whenever a girl's typing on her phone with long fingernails, just do that weird hand thing? I get like, and I think it's from.
Let's go back. Let's find out where the origins.
Do you
of
remember
this
the movie
come
Problem Child?
from. Yes.
Right. There's a bit in that where the Maz. It's either that or Dennis. There's some movie around about that time. So Dennis, Problem Child, maybe Gremlins 2, can't remember.
Or Beethoven or
But,
something.
or something like that. There's a moment where there's that. Do you know the character in those movies who's like the mum's boss?
Yes.
Who is like tight ponytail, sharp business suit,
Yeah.
big nails. And there was one of them where she's wrapping her nails on the table, impatiently.
Yes.
And I remember seeing those nails and being like, I got weirded out by that. So that's So you're asking post 18. The answer so far is no.
Right.
Let me think.
So
Let me
that's-
dwell.
that's-
You talk away. Let me dwell upon it. If there's anything else that I.
delve a bit deeper then into the troubled childhood that you must have come from. Did your sister have all these quirks?
No.
Did these appear after your sister was born?
No, I don't think so. Well, I can't remember. My first memory is my sister being born, so I don't know. I think
Maggie doesn't like a spotlight.
In
I'm thinking
fairness,
of.
no. In fairness, there was before my sister was born. My aunts would always tell me. I think it's probably trauma coming from my aunts from bullying. They would do a thing where they, for some reason, if you put a piece of paper on your tongue, and when I was like fucking really wee, I would dry heave. I would be like, and because
As a baby?
as a fucking
Fuck off.
yeah. Like from I was whatever age you become kind of conscious that there's stuff going on, one-ish, say.
Yeah, well.
They would put bits of paper in their tongue and go, Michael, and I would look around and they'd go, and I would go, and they would think this is hilarious. That might be where it stems from. Oh my god, we're going for a breakthrough.
There we are. We found out where it started. And
That's
what
my
has happened.
psoriasis cleared up tomorrow because I talked about that.
There you are. Well, that would be then the trauma of your aunties. Because
Yeah.
you're not supposed to, the thing is, you're not supposed to remember anything before you're 8.
really?
Unless you've had either a physical or mental or emotional trauma of some sort. Now, the trauma could be...
You're bound to remember stuff before. You don't remember anything until you were 8.
I have 2 or 3 things I remember. On all of them, now that I'm older and I've been told that, I was like, oh, that's why. Because one of them was being at Belfast Zoo when I think somebody's told me I was 4 at the time. And I was at Belfast Zoo and a monkey fucking knocked a bottle of Fanta out of my hand. And I roared and cried.
I'm supposed to call them that anymore.
Sorry, orangutan. And
Protestant?
so that stuck in my mind. So that's supposed to be.
How close were you to the monkeys?
Pretty close, yeah. I remember.
Back in the day, they
I
didn't have cages. The monkeys just down.
just down and about.
Get your hands off
so
my
you're talking-
Fanta, you damn dirty ape!
You were talking 84, 85, so the monkeys are probably too afraid to come out. It was Belfast, don't forget.
I don't know.
They're hiding in the fucking corner.
Aye. The monkeys are going, they disappeared.
What else do I remember? I remember being sent to the headmaster's office in P1, and that was a big trauma because I hit a boy, but only after he hit me first, but of course I got caught.
Were they
And I
still
was
slapping children when you were in school? Mm-hmm. Really? Did you ever slap?
Tail end, yeah. I would have got with a headmaster who had a cane, like a stick thing. So when I think he retired in P7, that was the last time it was ever used, that year, like whatever it was, 93.
They just framed it and kept it above the school entrance just to warn.
Oh, I mind.
Did you get caned?
Hand job.
I mean, we've all done that.
It's the headmaster.
I went to Catholic school too, do you know what I mean?
My mum wanted me to pass 11 plus.
Your mama sure does care about you, boy.
Don't care about your education. He had a short.
Oh, did he?
He had
A short did he?
He had a short stick. Literally about, I don't know, about 6 or 8 inches. That sounds bad.
That's not short as fuck.
And
That's massive.
But what he would do is he would make, like, if he caught you fucking about or anything, you had to put your hand out and then get a fucking whack on the hand. So that was the extent of it. It didn't go any further than that, no whack in the hand. But I do remember one guy, he was a year older than me, pulled his hand away and he fucking hit himself in the leg, boy, and we fucking that'll save me the day. But no, you're not supposed to before you're 8. Can you think of anything before you're 8? And if you can remember things,
I remember the day my sister was born. Right?
Trauma.
No.
Absolute emotional trauma. You just had the spotlight taken off you?
No. Because but the reason I remembered is because my dad bought me a Batman toy, and me and my dad walked up the town to get my sister flower, like to get a wee thing of flowers from my sister. Although in fairness, my sister wasn't an incubator, so it might have been the trauma of being a class big brother. Thank you.
Don't forget, emotional trauma can be good. You know, it can be. It doesn't necessarily have to be. It doesn't have to be a negative trauma. Like you can be overwhelmed.
Yeah. Well, no, I remember tons of stuff before. So remember, sister being born. I remember seeing her in a wee incubator thing and thinking it was dead high up.
Right.
Because obviously I was tiny. I remember the Christmas. I think when I was about 4, and my mum and dad bought me this red guitar thing, a wee toy guitar with an amp, and playing it when my mate from next door came into the house to call for me, and I was upstairs. In fairness, that might have been the first time I was ever embarrassed, because this girl walked into my room and I was like, "Hey, Mount."
Emotional trauma.
Makes sense. What else have I got here now? Remember learning to ride a bike? My dad cracking up. Because I wasn't getting it. Yeah, get you. I'm see now what else do I have?
Because I have about 4 or 5 memories from before 8, and then I literally, my 8th birthday is where I cannot think of my 7th birthday or my 6th or 5th. I cannot think of what. Now the other problem was I was a summer birthday. So everybody was off school, so you didn't have, you know, the way during the school birthday it was packed because everybody was there, but during the summer you get no contact. Don't forget pre-internet and all that crap. So you had no way of letting people know.
I can remember tons of stuff since before I was like,
yeah, right?
Yeah. But again, now that you think about it, they all are like. I remember hitting my face. I remember fucking falling over.
I remember falling, breaking my jaw, and all that can probably too. But there's things that's.
Remember broken on the bus.
Shouldn't say that's that was a thing I had read about psychology or whatever, and it applied to me. But I don't know. If it's
I remember crying on the way home from the primary school, but I was 22 and I shouldn't have been on the bus.
It could be worse. Could be knocked down by the bus.
Do you knock down by a school bus?
Knocked down by a money bus. Yeah, me and my brother.
No, when? Sorry, I don't know why. As if that it must have happened in the last year, and you haven't told me about it.
I was P2 and he was P1.
Fuck off! How fast are you going?
Not that fast, thank fuck, but enough to knock the 2 of us down. Like,
Jesus Christ!
It was one of those ones we all. When you think of it now, the kids now don't do it, but we all walked home. So there's a gang of us living in the same estate, and so there might have been 10 or 12 heading down, and it's about a mile walk.
Aye.
And our class, my little brother had to wait for me to finish, and our class was like a minute behind.
Aye.
So by the time we get out the front doors, we could see all the gang ahead of us walking on home. We're like, oh, for fuck's sake, we're going to miss them. So we ran. Never do this, children. We ran in front of a bus, and there was a minibus coming behind us. And as we ran out in front, it knocked me, and then we fell on top. Now, he's skinny as fuck, and I've always said that's because I landed on him and flattened him, just to fucking stretch him out a bit. But, so that was, then we just walked home. I mean, mad at knowing, because we had thought, back to that thing of emotional trauma, we were shitting ourselves because we thought we were in the wrong, because we didn't use the crossing guard, the lollipop man, so we went behind the bus. So I was like, I'm not saying that to my ma. And then now when I'm older, I'm like, of course they would fucking worried about the children. Like, so the owner of the bus came to my ma, found out where they were, came to my ma's house and checked on us, and 2 of us were watching TV in the living room. My ma was like, did you get knocked down by a bus today? I was like, aye. Just back to the TV. I was like, oh fuck. So yeah, minibus knocked us down.
I remember us. We went on holiday. Sorry for those of you who are listening. I'm just applying my psoriasis medications. I went on a holiday with my aunt and uncle when I was 14 or 15. I may have told this story before. And we were in Torrevieja because they had a wee apartment near Alicante.
Oh, jeez,
dealing the dogs probably. But my cousin, who was younger than me, knew the place. So she was like, right, you can both get the bus into town. We'll be back here for 5. And it was like, you're the oldest, so you're in charge, but technically he's in charge because he knows where he's going, but you don't let him do anything stupid.
Yeah.
But trust him, right? So it was a weird trust exercise. Anyway, we were like, the bus was driving to go back, and the bus hit a dude. So the guy was like crossing the street, wasn't looking the right way, and this bus driver was going full clip, like fucking. I remember like smashed the windscreen. I saw the guy like fucking spin, knocked him out cold. And the driver was just having a fag by the bus. Like, he was watching the bus to make sure nobody stole the fucking, the £8 it made that day or whatever it was. And then the guy who was in the dirt, like, got up. But I remember him getting up, right? And it was like, it reminded me of old, like 70s and 80s movies where they had that weird plasticine. Do that sort of Paul Verhoeven, like Alex Murphy model.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because he was moving really weird. Obviously, he's been hit by a fucking bus, like. And he was moving like, but because there was so much sand on his face, it looked like a dummy of the guy who'd been hit. Anyway, I ended up getting back to the apartment, and my cousin's mum was like, "What the fuck were you doing? I fucking tired." And we went, "Whoa, the bus knocked somebody down. That's why we were late." And she went, "Oh, right, okay. Well, your dinner's in the oven." And I was like, "Do you understand? We both need therapy from having almost witnessed a death." Chicken dippers and chips. It tastes the same.
Eat your fucking dinner, shut up.
Aye, eat your fish fingers, oh. Fucking turkey Twizzleros.
I'm surprised you ate them, because all you think about is fingers.
I don't mind a bit of fingering now. That's why I love eating fannies. Fannies, Yorkshire puddings.
Your aunt. I loved her.
Oh, she was a good woman.
Oh, Aunt Fanny. Oh, she's good now.
You're our Aunt Fanny. That is the thing, is it?
Aunt Fanny?
Aye. What is Aunt Fanny? Does it mean your ass? Is that why Americans call your bum your fanny?
Your fanny is your ass, yeah. In America.
Aye.
Yeah.
I suppose your vanny is your vagina, isn't it? I've heard of that.
A vanny?
Have you ever heard of people with a vanny?
No.
It says your
It's
vanny.
better than veggie, I suppose.
A veggie, which sounds like something you get from an Indian restaurant.
Aye, an onion veggie. I've had an onion. I've had many a spicy veggie in my time now.
Aye.
I haven't
Chutney?
actually. I haven't.
I've nibbled a few prawn crackers myself. Do you think there could be a smell coming out of a fanny that would stop you wanting it?
No.
If it smelled like coleslaw, I wouldn't go anywhere near it.
Even fish fingers?
Listen, I'm sorry, Pat, I can't tonight. Your fanny smells like my granny's fridge.
Now, in fairness, if you opened any set of underwear and got the whiff of tuna and onion, forget about it. You need to go. You need to leave.
I think. Do you know what I think might be the most offensive smell I've found in my adult life? Mm-hmm. Do you ever throw fag butts in a bin and leave it a couple of days? Mm-hmm. Like wet fag butts?
No.
Collective.
You just smell what's like one of those wet joints.
Oh fuck! I will be stinking.
You can lick it, sir.
So now that we've unpicked me, we do hear the amount of trouble I get in during the week.
This might explain an awful lot.
This might explain an awful lot. It would explain why my current mood, Connor, has been post-pandemic, has been to just crack up in groups of people.
Yes.
And sometimes it sounds like I'm making fun of individual people. No, when I'm not.
You wouldn't do that.
I would never do that. I know, genuinely serious. I have been caused some upset.
We may have got into a little bit of trouble.
No, that's not saying we, because you didn't do anything, right?
I know what happened. I folded under the peer pressure, and I did join in towards the end, unfortunately.
I was telling a story on the podcast a few weeks ago there about how I went to the Belfast Giants game and how I noticed that there was loads of fat people at the Belfast Giants game, right? Now, a lot of people got offended by that. Not a lot, a handful, right? And they were a handful. I'm only joking.
I fucking knew it.
But I genuinely, right? Do you know, right? If you've listened to this podcast for a while, if you've ever seen me do stand-up before, you know the one thing I hate is offending people. Like, I genuinely fucking lie awake at night, right? And I listened to a clip from the podcast, and you watched some of it back, and even I was going, fuck, that does look like I'm really getting stuck into people, right? Which was not the intention, because sometimes, you know yourself, sometimes we're doing the podcast, you turn up, you're not really planning it. You're just like, you're just firing shit at the wall.
It's basically free flow. And like, it's just
you're just fucking ad-lib and stuff, right?
Trying to make me laugh and then ultimately trying to make listeners laugh.
Exactly.
That's what you do, yeah.
And some people got very, very annoyed. And I listened back to it and I went, you know what, I can kind of see their point there, fair enough, right? And then some people started and like personally attacking me, right?
Yeah.
And I found myself going, which is worse? Like, is it worse me making a generalization and trying to sound like an arsehole, obviously not trying to be serious?
Well, especially when what you talked about. I mean, if you take this podcast out of context, which is what we talked about before, the whole Jimmy Carr thing recently. If I take it out of context, then it would sound like awful. Mm-hmm. But when you know us and you know how we treat people and how we think about people, and also to know that it was such a generalization.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's
and
no way
it
that
meant simply
every
in
single
jest.
person in that place.
There was at one point somebody said I was making fun of people with disabilities, and I wasn't. Now I listened back to this clip of the podcast, and I said the words "fat cunts who can't walk properly." Right?
Yeah.
I meant chub rub.
Yeah, you were talking about limpy.
Yeah.
Now, whenever you said the word limpy, I got the vision of the chub rub walk.
Yeah.
Because I know that walk myself.
Yeah, I know it well.
But I've seen
I long for chub rub as opposed to what I have, which is fucking fleckbeck.
I have seen that walk you're talking about, but I think the problem is, and this is what happened, is some people listened without having listened to us before.
Yes.
So you will know that when Mickey does his normal, oh my God, how ugly are you person, his impersonation is of Quasimodo.
Yeah. Yes.
You normally do a Quasimodo thing and be like, oh, my dad, all that sort of stuff. Right?
You should do it now.
No.
That's better than my own.
So he does do that, but the problem is when you take a clip out, you don't see the audio and you don't know the context of us, and that's your impersonation. It does sound like maybe somebody might have a disability.
Yeah. And weirdly, even when I listened to the clip that somebody put up, the 56 seconds of it, I listened to that and I went, fuck, I do sound like an awful cunt. I don't remember doing that. And I was aware of the context before and after. But then I started getting like actual fucking attacks.
Yeah, this changes it, doesn't it? Because it brings it more.
Because it becomes a strange thing. Like, I'll put it
the
this way.
last one was a very broad generalization, as we called it, but this then it becomes very personal.
It becomes very, very and like, not that. Now, it's a weird thing too because we were talking about this beforehand. Do we even bring this up in the podcast? But I think there's something interesting in it, right? Because Thursday night, for example, I was in Brickwork, and as I was leaving, a voice from a busy bar went, "Mickey," no, I had to try and do the Derry accent. "Mickey, you scabby cunt." And I was like, that's not the same as me going, fuck me, there's loads of fat people in Belfast, right?
Yeah.
Or there's loads of fat people anywhere.
Yeah.
Or there's loads of whatever, right?
I don't think it would, we talked about this, I don't think it would have as big of an impact if you had said, I went to Belfast city centre.
Yeah.
And seen a load of, it's just because this group was a community of people, and that's why they took more offence. And it wasn't, as you say, it was a handful of people, but it's still...
What was weird about it was, and again, obviously you never want to cause offence. That's obviously what I would never want to do. But I'm not saying sorry, because here's what happened. I then started getting people who were going, fucking size that fat cunt, making fun of us. And I wasn't making fun of anyone in particular. I was just saying I was in a room full of people and there were some fat people there. Right? Yeah. So I would like to take back...
Well, now, how long?
To be fair, I would like to take back what I said, and I would say, I went to Belfast Dance Game a few weeks ago, and everybody was a ride.
Yeah.
Everybody.
I don't think anybody would disagree with that. 6
packs as far as the eye could see. I was like, where are the athletes and where are the spectators? I can't tell the difference. Oh, my word. Oh, the handsome devils. I actually thought they were undernourished at one point because they started shooting sandwiches into the crowd out of a gun, and all these really skinny people were like, oh, I haven't been fed in ages. That's the difference. Do you know what I mean? Coleslaw scares me. We've all got a problem.
Oh, do you know how hard it was to bypass that 6-pack fucking line? Oh,
man, the amount of the people. One guy messaged me going, "You must sleep with one eye open," and I looked at his profile photo and thought I could sleep with both eyes fucking amputated and still see you coming. I'm not saying this about all Belfast Giants fans at all. I'm not saying it about.
But you know the
when
weird
somebody's
thing?
Threatening violence, I'm like, I think. Do you know what I mean? It becomes a point where you go, what you did's worse than what I did.
Yeah, absolutely, because you made it personal and made it very direct. I mean? Yeah, that person did, yeah. But the also thing is, it's
and I get it, I totally get it. One person said, I used to think you were funny, but not anymore. And I'm like, well, what group of people are you okay with me making fun of?
Yeah, what changed? Yeah.
It's very weird.
I think the irony of this being of these people only hearing the audio of this
They might think we don't know what we look like.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I think it's one of those ones, like, a fat person's allowed to slag another fat person.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing.
Of course you are. Well, I know I am. I mean, but here's the thing: if any of those people, the Belfast Giants, and they're concerned about their weight or whatever the case may be, I've been a fat man all my life. You're only recently fat. You've only just come
No,
in.
that's not fair. I'm just back to fat.
You've only just come into the club.
I've just come back to fat now.
So I've had all the fat nicknames from I was primary school right through secondary school, and I've had every single thing there is. But there has never been any time in my lifetime where I go, I wonder why I'm fat. I know exactly why I'm fat. I know I don't eat the right things, and I know I'm not being active enough. I have no... But see these other cunts who don't want it to be brought up to them that they are fat.
You kind of have to go, listen.
You need a bit of awareness. I'm a fat... And you were like, oh, you're just a big unit. I've been morbidly
I'm the same.
obese.
I've been fat my entire life. I've had titties since...
No, fuck off now. I can get photographs of you and you're relatively skinny.
In the odd times whenever I've worked out
early
like
days,
yeah, when I still have metabolism. But
like,
now, fuck me, it's gone. Like
my first year, fucking CBS, the grammar school fucking picture when they had to take a photograph of you, I look like Augustus Gloop, right? You know what I mean? I've been fat for a long time, so I have been like I never.
Tell you what's annoying.
I think that's what it is the audio. Nobody's seen it. They can see me and they go, oh, all right, okay.
Clearly joking. Also, I think it was a wee bit sly that people were bringing you into it, but you didn't really do anything.
I joined it in the end, like, just because I felt that.
But I mean, at the time it was sometimes we're just being dicks.
Here's the thing, right? So the two of us come from two different worlds in regards to our day jobs, as in you are solely comedy, whereas I have the community thing. So I'm constantly going, and as that happened last week, you can look at the video and see I was like, fuck. He's just generalised the whole entire community. But
can you call our supporters of a team a whole community?
Of course it is. It's a community because it's a closed group of people who have.
I will say this. Listen back to it. It wasn't very funny. It wasn't my best work. I will admit that.
That's the worst.
It definitely wasn't funny.
I know. That is the worst part of it.
That's the one I will agree to anybody when it wasn't even fucking funny. It wasn't. Even I was like, that's not even good crack. But it got very, very, very. Like, and to the point where, and this is the worst thing, whenever I start getting like slagged off, I'll double down more. So I got a message on Instagram from an anonymous account. Some guy was like, "You're a fat gimp," and I just wrote back, "You Belfast Giants fan?" Because I kind of knew it was coming. And the guy went, "Belfast Giants are bigger than you." And then because I couldn't walk away from the opportunity, I went, "Some of the fans definitely are."
Oh, no.
But nobody.
Do you see?
But man, what? I'm sitting minding my own business in the house. The thing about it is,
but these people are sitting minding their own business, and then somebody went out of their way to make a clip and send it on to them and to annoy them.
The thing about it is, it always gets me and this is another generalization. I'm sorry, when people get annoyed at comedy shows or comedians or podcasts or whatever they get annoyed at. See when they go, "I've never fucking heard of him and I'll never go see him." You go, "Well, you didn't need to say anything because this literally can never affect you."
Yeah. If and again, not to be defending it, but if.
Oh, but shit, don't be defended.
But if what you had said, right, was on a mindfulness podcast,
yeah,
or a positive motivational speaking thing, people should be getting annoyed.
Yeah.
But on a fucking
absolute,
podcast.
two ball. But it was weird.
You two call me bald.
The first person
call me bald.
No, but
so don't you fucking.
The first person to complain.
In your camp, I'll take fat, but I'm not taking bald.
One of the first people to complain was like, called me fat in their own rant, and I was like, "Well, no, you're as bad as me then. This is now over. You cannot go." He said loads of people are fat. I'm fat. Fuck him, fat fucker, and then not be as bad as me.
I know what Chris Rock does a bit of.
But at the same time, even though I was making jokes and fucking laugh, I was in bed like that. Like fuck me, I've really annoyed people. I'm mortified. Like still not saying sorry.
Chris Rock does a bit about people the most shit can't slag people the least shit. You know, fat people can slag skinny people, but skinny people can't slag fat people and all that sort of thing. You know, so there is that. There's a vibe going on here where. And they're like, well, it's okay to do it now because he did it to us.
Yeah.
But he didn't do it to you personally.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing. But you still have taken it out to go, you are a fat gimp.
Yeah.
So, I've never sent that to anybody, no matter how annoyed I've been at anybody or how much. But then you don't fuck about with the Giants.
I'm never going to fuck about with the Giants again.
The worst thing is, I was the one who said it was a good night out. And I enjoyed it. And I'm not going to be barred.
So did I, though. But then there were people... No, I don't want to get into it. Because there were certain things where I was like, whoa. Like at one point I got brought up the fact that we were going, it's a good night out, and there was a discussion about, it felt as if supporters of the Belfast Giants were taking credit for being a good night out.
Yeah. But see, that's why I'm saying to you, it's a very close-knit community.
Yeah.
They are the people that keep that thing alive, and that's why it was going to get a reaction. They're
Very true. And I would. The way I don't even have Twitter, so I didn't know what it caused the reaction. Do you know how I knew?
Neither did I. Somebody else. You sent to me.
No, do you know how I knew?
What?
I had a glass of water sitting on the table, started wobbling. I was like, either a T-Rex has escaped or somebody's about to threaten my well-being with violence.
We were so close. We were so close. I was nearly going to hit the stop record button. Like, we were nearly done. Oh, good night. Good night, Irene.
We had the girls from Slimming World hear those jokes.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
I'm on tour at the minute. Tickets for the Waterfront Hall show are on sale. I'll probably never be allowed to play the SSA Arena, but sure.
Well, that's your excuse now.
I said I couldn't. I
couldn't do it.
I can tell you what, them Belfast Giants like the mafia, sure. They know people.
Oh, well.
Anyway,
Oh, well.
my hockey day's over.
At least I have Tyrone GA to keep up with.
Oh shit. Oh. Mono Giants.
Up a cheese.
Cheerio, baby. What's up, motherfuckers?